we are here with Dr. Suzanne Lie, who is a channel of the Arcturians. And we are talking about an upcoming online healing retreat that really expands our awareness into ourself and into our higher self consciousness. Dr. Sue, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being there.
Let's talk about this event. It is a 2-session event, and we really are connecting to our multidimensionality, actually looking at ourselves from a multidimensional perspective and an expanded awareness of consciousness. Can you share a little bit about what that means, or what the Arcturians' role in that is?
Well, you mean, let's just start with the Arcturians' role in our expanded consciousness. Let me start there. Okay. So, expanded consciousness is not easy to do in daily life. And we really need to have a mentor. And that mentor is going to need to be of pretty high frequency. Such as the Arcturians are the Pleiadians, the Antareans, and these are all galactic beings that, have their star systems and have their realities. They're all real. You can look in the stars in the sky and you can point out each of them. And Earth is growing up enough that it's starting to think, hey, maybe I'm not the only planet out of all those lights in that dark sky. I'm not the only planet that has beings living on them, life, okay? And so this is how humans are beginning to grow up, because first they needed to find out that they were adults and that they had some free will over their lives, and that the energy they put out is the energy they came back. And so there's a lot of these remedial things that humans have to learn about, how they are in control of their own life before they're even beginning to even maybe take baby steps, that all those stars up there, they're planets, they're worlds, people live there. And there's starships that land all the time and they come to us, and those dreams and imaginations, they're real. And so as people move into that phase, that expands their consciousness from their first, second, third dimensional consciousness into their fourth and their fifth dimensional consciousness. And first, second, and third consciousness, that's just, getting through life, having a job, feeding your family, just doing what you can do. But when you add that fourth dimension, then you allow yourself that great treat of creativity. And you get to create how you want your home to look. You get to create good meals for your family. You get to get jobs that are creative. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't feel that they have any time at all for creativity. And, I'm sure you feel the same way, Lorraine. Just look at your place, how creative it is. Creativity is what allows us to breathe. This is what keeps us alive. This is why we keep on. We do these things, we have these meetings, we have these talks, we have these webinars, because when we do so, we bring in this creative flow. And the creative flow is actually our own higher dimensional selves that are like that all the time, but we forget. And so we get down here in the 3D and we just go to the market, make the food, pay the bills, and we forget about the wonderful gift of creativity.
Yes, it really is the way that we express divine love, our divineness in our world.
Yes.
And so when we go into this realm and explore higher consciousness, expanded consciousness, our higher self, it really means bringing forth this creativity. That's going to be a beautiful byproduct or side effect of this work that we're doing. I think that people get so numb from this 3D world and living in it that we lose sight of that creativity. So many who are beginning to re-express this creativity on the path that really is joyful. So can you share with us, in the 2 sessions that we're going to experience, the Arcturians always take us on a guided meditation.
Yeah.
What do you find that's like for participants?
Well, it gives the participants a taste of a higher dimensional state of consciousness. And it's kind of like your favorite chocolate. Once you taste it, you're going to buy it at the store every time you go to the store, because it tastes really good. And so once you get that taste that, wow, there is something else, that I do have control of my life. I really do have control of my life. And the good thing is, as those of us know that have learned this earlier and have lived it for years or decades, that as we get creative, we dare to create our life. And so it's not like, our mate creates our life, or our job creates our life, or, our parents create our life. We get to create our very own lifetime. And that's about the most fun creativity we can do. And if we choose to have this creativity be based on giving power to others, as opposed to just pulling power for ourselves, then it's a machine that continues to run on and on and on. And you'll look at lots of people, they'll have fame or whatever they'll do, but it's just all about them. And then they burn out. That's too much. They can't do it anymore. They have nervous breakdowns. They disappear. But the people, such as yourself, Lorraine, that are really giving service to others, it's a circuit. It's a circuit that the higher energy keeps running into because you share it with others. And so you're not trying to use it for any kind of a selfish mode, because then it gets constrained into one body. And after a while, it's like, no, that's too little. I am unconditional love. I can't fit in that tight little box. I am multidimensional creativity. I don't fit in that little box. I'm happy to flow through you, but I'm on the move all the time. So.
Well, we're really looking forward to moving into states of higher consciousness. Absolutely. And that really means breaking old programs. And this allows us, when we go into that multidimensional perspective, it allows us to see ourselves in that way, which I like to say, make sure it's a non-judgmental self-observation mode, because we can tend to beat ourselves up. So what an important time with the outer world shifting, and this summer with these energies really showing us that it is chaotic out there, that it must get higher in consciousness. We need to be in a higher state of consciousness with everything that's happening out there. So I just want to thank you for joining us for this 2-session webinar, because we always go so deep within ourselves. I've always had such incredible transformations from all of the webinars that we've done. And this time it's going to be on video like this, and that'll be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although we do meditate and go into ourselves, it's still fun to see others as we share our video on this particular webinar. So again, let's just talk about this important time to create solutions from a higher dimensional perspective.
Yes. Well, the thing is, when we're going through our regular 3D life, we're using, I don't know, maybe 10% of our brain on a good day. And so that's using 10% of our potential to, move through our lives. And if we can start our day or incorporate it some way in our day, that we read something spiritual, write something spiritual, meditate, whatever it is that gets us in alignment with the yes, you can. You know, you can do this. In fact, that's why you came here. In fact, you're wearing this body. This is the body you're wearing. You are not limited to this little body, this little 3D flesh and blood body. This is what you're wearing right now. But you fill the whole room. You're much bigger than your body. And not only do we have our aura fill the whole room, it goes into higher and higher dimensions. And when people begin to realize that they have this really vast potential that is largely untapped, and largely is untapped because everybody's busy putting one foot in front of the other and just getting through life. However, if this is tapped, then we don't have to put one foot in front of the other, because we can just go into the higher guidance and say, okay, this is like not looking like a good day. Can you help me out here? And they will help you out. They will help you out. And they, of course, are you, but in a higher frequency of reality.
Yes, that's beautiful. Okay, so we can always maintain this connection. We can reach for that connection. What a beautiful responsibility it is as well to take this journey within ourselves and to expand our awareness and bring those solutions into our world like we talked about. So thank you, Sue. I did just want to share more on the personal experiences. Every time we meet in this space with the Arcturians, we are truly in the now moment, and we are able to see ourselves from that multidimensional viewpoint, whether it's a past life. Other times the Arcturians have taken us to a place where we saw ourselves in a lifetime that we ascended. We saw ourselves as the goddess. We saw ourselves how we removed ourselves from being that powerful form. And so that's what makes these webinars so profound and personal for everyone, is just this inner perspective that everyone gets in their own way. It's different for everyone. I remember shortly after we did one on the goddess awakening, I had a beautiful experience with Mother Mary and saw how we, not only as women, but as a society, turned against the Divine Mother. And so just feeling that again in my life was really beautiful. So these are a little bit of the ways that we all expand from this work. And maybe you want to share a little bit about how this work that we do on ourselves in the field of consciousness actually shifts the entire field of consciousness for everyone on the planet.
Yes, well, it's not like 1 and 1 is 2 and 2 and 2 is 4. It's stronger than that. You know, you get 2 people then that are able to express this energy field in the 3rd dimension, then that will be maybe the energy field of maybe 10 people. Because when your energy field is expanded to encompass your 5th dimensional self, and which means your Arcturian self, your Palladian self, your Antarian self, your Andromedan self, then what happens is that you're not just human. You're a human who, you're wearing a human body. You're a multidimensional being that has many, many expressions. And you have chosen, at great sacrifice, to wear a human form. And you chose to wear that human form to help planet Gaia. Because as everyone knows, planet Gaia has not been treated well, and she's over it. She is acting up now. She's letting everybody know that, no, you cannot treat me this way any longer. And so it's very important that those that know that tell others, because if we are putting love and light into our lives, into our work, into the earth, the air, the fire, the water, the plants, the bees, the everything. And lots of people there's lots of wonderful things that are going on. If that is only like 51%, then that is going to be such a healing force for the entire planet. And it's a gift that we give to our planet, because the entire planet wants to move into that next frequency of reality. And we want to do it. We want to go with her. No, we're there. We got our tickets, girl.
Pretty quickly. We want to do this like right now already.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you talked about multidimensional, our multidimensionalness.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you want to bring in the Arcturians here if they've got a message about what we're going to experience in this training as we learn to experience our multidimensionality and then integrate it.
All right, I'm going to get myself. Now, note for all of you that do channel and those of you that don't channel, that it's a shift of consciousness. You know, I can't just like go right in there because she asked for the Arcturians to speak. Now, when I speak, that's fine, and they help me speak, but it's very different when I just give it up to this higher frequency of myself. I mean, I am an Arcturian on a higher level, but right now I'm wearing a little earth vessel, and so I'm in the midst of all of that. And just for all of you that are also wearing little earth vessels, that doesn't mean that you're not Arcturians, Palladians, and all the other galactic beings. You know, you could be a volunteer to Earth too. But the thing is, you don't leave your higher self, because your higher self is multidimensional. Your higher self is still right there all the time. It never leaves you. It's always there. You're always connected. Of course, we forget. We forget that we're connected. So, okay, now you wanted me to just bring in an Arcturian message, right? Okay, make sure I'm on track here. All right. Beloved ones, we are the Arcturians, and we are so very, very happy to be able to communicate with each and every one of you in a way that is completely unique and personal for each of you, as well as for us. Because we, the Arcturians, are not limited to the concept of time or space. And so we don't have a beginning, a middle, or an end, and we don't have a this place or that place. We just are. We exist. We are energy fields. And we are energy fields that align our resonance with people that are trying to match that energy field. And so if somebody is just in a third dimensional self and they want to go to a fourth dimensional, be more creative, more talented, then we will expand our consciousness down into their state of consciousness and be with them until there is a level of bonding, so that there is a love, like there's a love that Suzanne feels when we talk to her. That's like she's, oh yes, they're here, because she can feel the love. And then you will feel the love. And then once you feel that love, you're not alone. You are not alone. And, you know, maybe the traffic sucks and you're going to be late for that meeting, and maybe you won't get that job because you got late for the meeting, and then you'll get back and your kids will be starving, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, right now, in this now, you are in the car and you're not alone. You are with your own higher self.
That is a beautiful indication of when we feel that love, to know that we are in that energetic presence of our higher self and all the beings who are there to support us.
Yes. Yes. And it feels good. And I can't say I'm walking around in that all the time. I'm just a regular old person, and I get in bad moods and do all those kinds of things, you know. But at least at some point in time is like, oh, yes, what am I doing? I don't need to be like this. I just need to calm down and stop being human for a minute and expand my consciousness to encase this wonderful, beautiful energy field that's always there. It never leaves, but I forget.
Or we go unconscious, let's say.
And we go unconscious, yes. Well, I think ascension is about remembering to remain conscious.
Yes, remembering to remain conscious.
Yes.
Not always easy, though.
No,
And
it's not
the
easy.
lessons, you know, sometimes we do just go into blame or shame or guilt or victim mode as well. And this is really an empowering time when we can remember this in all walks of life, in every situation. So as people become more equipped at this level of consciousness, maintaining this level of consciousness, we can truly see how our world will change. So that does give us hope and is promising. And you know, Sue, I was thinking about this recently, noticing, just got back from a group trip, how every one of us on that trip that were called for that activity were like-minded.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. And that tells me that it's almost like it's too big to stop. This is a movement that is well underway.
Yeah.
This is an awakening that is well underway. And so again, that brings a lot of hope. And I just want to thank you and your work, because for over 30 years now, you have been dedicated to bringing forth the information from the Arcturians. And that has truly helped on a magnificent, huge level. So I just want to honor you for that too.
And honor them, because they're the reason why I'm sane. You know, the reason why I'm happy, and the reason why I feel like I have a purpose. I mean, humans need a purpose. We're like dogs. If you have a dog and you don't give your dog a purpose, it's going to be an erratic kind of little skitsy dog. Dogs need a purpose, and so do people. We need a purpose. And I always, I can't remember a time where I didn't have some kind of golden bean that was hanging around somewhere. And I didn't really know what it was. And, you know, it was Jesus for a while, because I went to church and church said it was Jesus. So that was fine. And Jesus is definitely an ascended master. So that's a good person. But as we go through the different phases of our lives, we change. And so as we change, our perception of our higher expression of self changes too. I mean, it expands and it becomes, okay, I would have to say for me, it can be more unknown, and the unknown doesn't scare me. You know, I can say, okay, I got the tail of the dog, and this is great, and I'm ready to go into that unknown. I want to go into that unknown. I want to see what it's like to be fully conscious in my fourth dimensional self. I want to remember, I want to be on my ship. I want to land, and I want to fly a ship. And I've had some memories and some visions and things of that manner, and they're very helpful because it expands our consciousness and expands our sense of self. And our sense of self is very important, because if our self is just, well, I can't, just a little person, then we're not going to do much. But if our sense of self is, my sense of self is fifth dimensional and beyond. I mean, for everyone, there isn't anybody, the worst criminal, there isn't a single person that doesn't have that fifth dimensional self. They just closed the door and locked it and forgot about it. But everybody has it.
Yes, everyone has it. And this is why the experiences with you and the Arcturians are so empowering, because it's really for advancement in one's life in a profound way. even new earth leaders, having people empowered to step up as a new earth leader, a new thought leader. That's the change, really, that so many are feeling that they need to make, or they need to be a contribution on. So it's pretty wonderful. So with that, we do invite everyone to join us, because what we find is when we're in a group like this, you know, we may find it interesting in our normal everyday world to have conversations like this with people in our regular day-to-day life. But when we gather as a group like this, everyone is like-minded. I love that so much. And we all get this. You take us to, who knows where we go on some of these journeys. You've taken us, the Arcturians have taken us on to the ship. We've experienced what our ship is like. And when we hear other people share their experiences of this, it validates our own inner knowingness. And isn't that such a beautiful space to be in, where we're not convincing people of this, we're actually sharing, and we're getting it. And I just love that. It really is powerful, and it's beautiful.
Yes, because we love it and we know it. We can just converse with someone about it. And if they go, oh, I don't know, that's very weird, you're very weird, then we just go, okay, well, blessings be. You know, we're not going to get our feelings hurt. We're not going to get angry. It's like, that's fine. And that little touch could be something that right now that's like, oh, that's the craziest thing I ever heard, you know, get away from me. But then the next time they'll have, well, didn't that other person say that? And then they open the door a little teeny bit more. And every time they open the door, they get more. But they get at their own pace. And then, so people like to feel like they have control of this. It's like, okay, that's all I want to know now. I need to digest this first. Cool. It's great.
Yes. And so, like, going back to what I was saying earlier about an experience I had after one of these sessions, is it unfolded the week after this event. It does unfold as we're ready for it. Yes. And it really is beautiful. So this is really an activation. So we invite those who are called to join us on this webinar. It's going to be 2 parts, and it will be on video. You'll see me, you'll see Dr. Sue. You don't have to show your screen if you don't want to, but it really is a cool video network that we're all able to experience. So get ready for an activation. We know it as it unfolds in the now moment. The Arcturians step forward. The Arcturians take us into guided meditations, and then we share those experiences. Anything you want to add on that?
Well, the one thing I want to add, that all of you are totally invited to contribute anything you want. And if you don't want to contribute anything, that's fine too. So there aren't any rules. Some people, especially if they're new to it, it's like, I'm just going to check this out over here. Cool, that's fine. But as you get more comfortable and you actually ask questions or make comments, then it makes you feel like, wow, I'm at a new phase in my life. This is a new phase. I mean, if you're sitting around and you're talking about the 4th and 5th dimension and people coming in and starships and the Arcturians that you don't even have a face, and you know how this is different. And different is good. Different is what keeps our brains flexible and keeps us using more and more of our brain. And we will talk a little bit about, you know, using just 2% of our brain, which is what a lot of people do, as opposed to actually having a whole brain consciousness. Now that's, the galactics have whole brain consciousness. So that's why they do all these fancy things. They look a lot like us, they act just like us, but we use 2 to 8%, they use 100%. So we just have to turn up the volume and we're ready, we're good to go.
Turn up the volume, get activated, and come on and get galactic with us.
Yes.
Again, we invite our listeners to join us, because it really is just a beautiful experience, and it's all recorded, even if you can't join us live. And you know, you've got the audio and the video, so that's beautiful. So Sue, I just want to thank you, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's always really fun and magical when we get together like this.
Yes, it is, for sure. We've been getting together for what? We started when they didn't even know what a webinar was.
It was brand new, that's for sure.
It was brand new, so.
Yeah.
Okay, and thank you everybody for listening to this, and I hope to see all of you in the webinar. And of course, if you can't make it and you register for it, you will get it in the mail, you know, on your email. So, you know, if you just can't make it, we understand, but you'll get the information. So.
Yes. Okay, so Sue and the Arcturians, thank you so much. We really look forward to our time together, and we thank you for today. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.